Mayor Michael Kerr, a meeting today. There was probably one subject that came up early, and that was the RV proposal by Councillor Peter McEwen. You brought it up earlier to see if there's any conflict of interest, and then we moved on, and then towards the end we heard his proposal. He wants an RV park in Mossman. This is an opportunity for council to get some income from it, a transfer of land. Can you just explain what you supported with Peter McEwen's proposal?
Absolutely. The original concept, the staff came to us last year, which that meeting, the document was adjourned back then. What the staff were looking at doing is getting some of our surplus land that we've got in the Shire, selling that off the equivalent value of what a block of land would cost in Mossman, to lease to the CMCA to run a RV park on it. So it'd be an RV park right and close to Mossman, so 50 RVs or so at a time would be parked there, and those people would utilise the shops and businesses in Mossman.
And Peter McEwen just said, look, RVs at the moment, they detour around us because this is his words, that we're not RV friendly. Do you believe that? Do you back him on that?
The information we received from the CMCA, which is the official body, they've got 80,000 members. This is one of the places that they're always getting requests. Why do they not have an RV facility? So the CMCA, they've been here nearly every year for the last couple of years to, speak to council and say to council, we're looking for an RV park. Can you assist us in supplying one? And this is why this started in the first place. We've had lots of people, emails, contacting us in different ways to say that they want an RV park here in Douglas Shire. And, we just felt that Mossman was the right place for it. And that's why staff were pushing forward with it. And, it's been delayed, and this is obviously why Councillor McEwen has decided that enough's enough. He's just brought it forward himself to get a decision one way or another. And of course, it went the way it did today.
And of course, it brings an income, as we said earlier, but also Mossman needs an injection of funds coming in and money for the area and all of that. It would provide jobs. It seemed to be a win-win situation, as he put it, and yet the other councillors knocked it on the scone.
Well, from the information that I've received from various different mayors throughout Queensland and also through the CMCA, so it's been confirmed, most RVs will spend between $150 and $250 a day at their location. So if you've got 50 RVs parked in Mossman, all spending at the minimum amount $150 a day, that's a lot of money being injected into this region. And this is why we've been so excited about looking at the concept of doing it. From a personal perspective, of course, I'm disappointed, and I'm sure the many businesses in Mossman would be disappointed as well, but it was a majority vote of councillors, and Councillor Zamataro, Nolly and Scomerson, of course, have gone against Councillor McEwen's motion that he put forward today, and so it doesn't look like it'll be happening.
And there was no cost to the ratepayer at all?
No cost at all to the ratepayers. It was simply a land swap from one to the other, lease the land to the CMCA, which therefore they actually get an income. The council will be getting an income from the land, and it's one of the crazier points that I don't understand.
Okay, let's move on to Warri Park Maintenance Program. Can you just explain that to us?
Okay, Warri Park is the lake that runs in between the Lakes Estate Housing and Ulysses Avenue. There's been different opinions of the different residents that live around it. The people that live in the Lakes Estate like having a nice enclosed lake, so they like the trees being there, so they don't have the light shining in their backyards, they don't see the houses across the other side of the lake. And the people in Ulysses Avenue, of course, like having a lake there and want to be able to see it. So they were wanting to have trees trimmed and cut back, and of course that wasn't possible. So we've gone out with a plan, because this has been going on for many, many years. There's been lots of complaints going through. So the staff have now had a written document that shows exactly what the position of council is. This is what we will do to look after that park. This is how we'll treat it. This is what the policy is. Please stop harassing our staff if you see them in the park, and let them do their job.
Quite a number of trees apparently uprooted for that, but trees will be planted in their place, as I understand.
Well, and that's the thing. Some of the Ulysses residents allegedly have removed some of the trees and cut them down. And there's even been cases where people in the Lakes Estate have been planting trees that shouldn't be there because they were the wrong types. So there's been lots of things going on for many years, and this is to clarify exactly what the position of council is. It's a park. It will be treated like a park. there was one stage where they're saying, well, you can't clear all the dead palms and all the rest of it because birds are nesting. And council needs to respect the animal and the wildlife there, but we also have to remember that that is a main water flow area for water that comes down that easement from Port Gardens Estate. It fills, it floods, and when it floods, it takes all that leaf and debris and pumps it into our drainage system, blocking drains and flooding other areas. So we've got to balance that out and make sure we maintain the park properly.
Building Better Regions, Rexmill Park Playground renewal and upgrade. That sounds good.
Well, the Building Better Regions, of course, is a great funding scheme the state government have brought in, and we're able to apply for different things that fit into the categories that they have. And these two things do fit into that category, and so we've put applications in to get funding for them.
Cooya Beach, reservoir connection as well.
Absolutely, really important. When they built that estate, there was reservoirs put there, but they were never connected. So the tanks are already there. If we get the funds, we can actually plug them in. So that'll give us another backup system as well.
Now that contract for water, I was just a bit confused with this one. Battery acid water, what was the go there?
The battery acid water,
yeah. It was a contract.
The next one we have is for a new cleansing facility.
That's it.
So they're aerators. So what they do is they're modules that drop to the bottom of the tanks, and they create bubbles, causing it all to stir up, and that breaks everything down. So this is
osmosis.
Yes. So this is a new type of system, so that they can actually take it back out to clean it or repair it if things go wrong with it. Whereas the old system's a lot more complicated and a lot harder to maintain.
Okay, I'm glad we cleared that one up. Cooya Beach Cycleway. How good.
Absolutely. It's really important we keep working on our cycleways, and this is the next stage of doing from Cooya Beach to Mosman. Of course, we've had the bridge built, so the bridge is there now, and now this pathway will take it through so people will hop on their bikes and safely ride to Mosman.
Financial report for December. How are we travelling in the Yuletide month?
As I said, we're halfway through the year now, so we're starting to see the figures, but at this stage we're still tracking along. We've gone through a hard couple of years with COVID. We can't say things have been rosy. We've done everything we can to support where we could to the residents and ratepayers. So we are tracking behind on what we would have liked to have been. But, we're still functioning as a good council, and that's really important. And as someone said, and I love the quote because I've said it a couple of times now, we're the Harvey Normans of councils. Because we've actually done quite well in consideration to other councils as far as what COVID's done to them. So, I believe we're tracking along well. People can see there's still things happening. There's gardens are still being mowed, parks and being looked after. We're just still getting work done around the Shire, and hopefully people look through the operation report and that's in, or the CEO report that's in the document as well. They'll see the amount of work that we're actually doing in this Shire. It's pretty impressive for a little Shire.
I mean, we do punch above our weight, don't we?
We absolutely do. We've got a lot of people in the Shire that expect a lot as well. So we've got to live up to that aim. And, I believe we certainly do. We don't have an endless budget. We've got to, pull the lines here and there where we have to. But certainly if there's things we can do, we want to make it a presentable place and, a place where people want to live and are happy to live. Well, thank you very much. Just before we go, people get their boosters. Absolutely, really important to get those boosters. Whilst the shot 1 and 2, certainly do give you protection, that third booster dose really bumps it up and makes sure that you are absolutely covered if you do come across COVID, and at least you're not going to be one of these 14% that end up in a hospital or an ICU bed. You'll just have a bit of a sniffle. And one thing I have to remind people is don't be complacent about that. It may only be a sniffle for you, but the next person you come across and pass it on to, it could be a deadly disease. So it takes no prisoners. You just don't know whether you're going to be one of those 14%. So absolutely get your booster shot and wear your masks, do the right thing, keep checking in. It's really important. If there is a major spread, at least they will be able to contact you, and it's also so the businesses can continue doing what they legally have to do to make sure that you're vaccinated entering the right properties. Mayor Michael Kerr, thank you. Thank you.